Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the Juice Master Gaming YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk about AEW President Tony Khan and his acquisition of the Ring of Honor promotion and all of their assets, and how this could potentially impact upon the upcoming AEW video game. Well, first of all, I think this is a big move in the world of professional wrestling. Ring of Honor has had a little bit of uncertainty during the pandemic, although they have got a reboot show that's planned for, I believe, in April upcoming, which will be very exciting. But now that they are part of Tony Khan's affiliation, I think this is going to be a very big move for Tony Khan, and they're not necessarily just going to be consumed by AEW. I think there's a good chance they're going to run as their own promotion, with their own events. And what's really good about this is that distribution of roster personnel is now going to be spread potentially across multiple TV deals potentially. And you know, some of the younger guys that he brings in, whether he brings them into AEW or brings them into Ring of Honor, there's that potential for more TV time. I think that's really positive. Of course, for those of you that can remember way back when, in 2001, when the then WWF purchased WCW and also ECW as well in that same time frame, WCW was essentially squashed and deleted out of existence, other than their video back catalogue, which is obviously on the WWE network. But we've got an opportunity now to see Ring of Honor running as its own brand, as its own wing of Tony Khan's business, and hopefully it will do well. But obviously, most importantly, there's some regular work there for the personnel and behind the scenes guys that ran that show, and I think that's a really good thing. Now, from a video game standpoint, I think this is tremendously exciting for us as wrestling video game fans, because the potential for that game to now include Ring of Honor arenas, Ring of Honor title belts, potential storyline modes, I think that is something that we can really look forward to. Of course, a lot of the guys that are on the AEW roster and a lot of people who have been on the Ring of Honor roster previously have been doing a lot of crossing over between the shows anyway, and of course, as you know, AEW has had a relationship with Impact Wrestling as well, and also New Japan. So I really do think there is that opportunity here where, if it's done correctly, you could see all four of those promotions to an extent represented in this game. Now, I am possibly getting overexcited on that prospect. From a licensing point of view, that may be too difficult to achieve, but those four promotions have had crossovers. Jay White, for example, right now is appearing in Impact and also AEW, and he's from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So there is that excitement that someone like him could be in the game. Of course, we've seen the Good Brothers appear on AEW television as well. Of course, they're now back in the Bullet Club on Impact Wrestling. And these are the things that I want to see. That crossover is what's going to make a game like this even more highly anticipated. Now, of course, we have got the Wrestling Code as well. And, you know, there's going to be some top level wrestlers in that. And I do think we're going to see, because of the free agent status of a lot of these guys and the fact that AEW is happy to let their guys wrestle for other promotions, that there is a chance you could see some of these guys appear in multiple video games this year, which will be good for their royalties, and it will be good for us as consumers to be able to actually get that exposure of whoever we want to play as could be appearing in all of these games, and I think that's a really good thing. So something else that I wanted to talk about today was the backstage elements of the new AEW game and how that could play out in terms of what we want to see as fans. Now, you'll see in the background here, I've got some footage of the classic WWF No Mercy from back in 2000. And what a game this was. And this is, of course, something that Kenny Omega keeps referring to in terms of what he wants this wrestling game to play like. And, of course, they've got the No Mercy creative director as part of this project for making this AEW game. So I think that is something that, hopefully if it comes to fruition, will be something that is really good for us as fans. And it'll certainly get us all very excited if it pays off. Now, what are we expecting, and what do we want to see from this? Now, the backstage element of No Mercy was that you would be able to take your opponent from the stage area during a match, or a normal match, or even a no DQ match, and you could take them backstage. You could fight in the corridor, as you've seen here. You could then go into separate backstage rooms, boiler room, car park, trainer's room, locker room, and also like a bar area which had a pool table that you could powerbomb your opponents through, which is absolutely excellent. Now that was a really nice game mode, and you could also do tag team, so 4-man people in the backstage fighting. Now, very interestingly, and one of the things that actually prompted me to make this video was the fact that the new WWE 2K22 game has what looks like quite an extensive backstage area, and graphically looks very good, but unfortunately only supports 1v1 backstage fighting. Now, how on earth, guys, in 2022 can you not have multi-person backstage fights? Am I asking too much? I don't think so. If WWF No Mercy could support it, I'm pretty sure SmackDown Here Comes the Pain could support it as well. So, yeah, a little bit disappointing from that point of view, that the WWE game doesn't support that. Now, again, I'm not bashing WWE. I've followed the WWE for a very long time. I don't think their product has been as good in recent years, but I still want them to bring out a good game. But what I really want is for the Wrestling Code and the AEW games to look at what doesn't work well with that game and make it better for their upcoming products. Sometimes you have to learn off the back of other people's failures. But from a backstage point of view, and I said this in one of my previous videos, with the Daily Place Arena and the Jacksonville Jaguars football pitch, the fact that could be used as part of a Stadium Stampede mode. And you think about all of the other backstage skits that we've seen during Dynamite and Rampage, and during the Being the Elite YouTube show, and the Dark Order's little backstage area that they hang out in. All of these little places could be utilised to some kind of Ultimate Daily's Place backstage section of the game, where you could go backstage and take the violence to a new level. You could potentially have different backstage layouts for each of the arenas. That could be a little bit too much. I might be asking too much. But please tell me what you think. I'm very interested to know. Again, this game has no release date, so my ability to show a lot of footage is very minimal at the moment until we actually get some real concrete news released. Now, hopefully they're going to do something in and around the AEW Revolution pay-per-view that was mooted by Kenny Omega recently. So maybe within the next 10 days, there may be something more exciting that we can actually talk about, look at and speculate about, which would be excellent. But in the meantime, my friends, please have a think about what you would like to see from a backstage point of view. How would it fare gameplay-wise in comparison to what we've seen in WWF No Mercy, and in terms of the different areas that you'll be able to go to backstage? What do you want to see? What kind of interactivity do you want to see? What kind of match types do you want to see backstage? Do you want that freedom of just being able to take your character from one place in the arena to another? Do you want to be able to fight in the crowd? Do you want to go into the concession stands? These are all the things that need to be in this game. And if they're not, then they're really going to be missing a trick. So fingers crossed, everyone. So yeah, a couple of good things to reflect on. We've spoken about the acquisition of Ring of Honor into Tony Khan's business. Hopefully that will have a positive impact on the game. And also we've discussed the backstage elements of the upcoming game. So please let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like the content, please feel free to subscribe for more gaming content on wrestling games and other interesting things as time passes on. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you all soon. Good evening.